YouTube. How are you all doing? And welcome to the sound. Live! We're in a heat wave here. It's going to be 99 degrees in Oregon today. So thank goodness. Thank goodness that we're doing this early in the morning. How y'all doing? Today with me I have Evelyn Holland. Evelyn is a singer-songwriter and guitarist. What are you up to these days, Evelyn?
I'm continuing progress on the third record. I just tracked some bass yesterday.
Cool.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about writing. I've been writing these long progressive pieces for this record, and I think it's time I write like a shorter, maybe more like less complex song. Just have it be like maybe like a ballad. I was thinking like a power ballad, weirdly enough, yesterday while I was driving, and I'm like, yeah, that might be cool. Even though I got some ballad elements in there. And some more melodic elements, it's just like straight up power ballad or something. I don't know. I mean, it is a concept record, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You always can do whatever you want. Yeah, of course. Right on. Go on. Okay, next I have Kyle Walz. Kyle is a singer, songwriter, and musician, guitarist. Kyle, what are you up to these summer days?
Well, since you mentioned new songs and things, last week I picked up my guitar one morning and was going through some songs I'd written in the last few months, and there was one I liked it when I wrote it, but then I haven't really liked it. I was like, maybe I'm going to take that one off my list of ones that I might do. For some reason, my fingers started playing it in a way that I really, really like. So I recorded a draft. I shared it with my patrons and stuff, but it was cool that I sat down and I use session drum tracks for my original music and stuff. So I found some drums I liked. I got everything arranged really cool. I added some bass, and it was fun to sit down and record again, because it's been a little while since I recorded something new, studio wise. So that's fun stuff.
Neat. Yeah, man. I want to tell you guys really briefly about my terrible, awful, bad day that I had. I got a video rant I did about it on Friday last week, and there's going to be another video or series of videos, I'm not sure, about the aftermath. So trying to when life gives me some hops, I'm trying to make some fucking beer, right? So that's what I'm doing, straight up. I'm not gonna drop a whole bunch of those, but that's an important one to drop here. It's important, guys, to realize that sometimes bad stuff happens. So anybody that watching my live stream on Thursday would know that my guitar started cutting in and out in the middle of the stream. It just like I went to pick up my saxophone and I set my guitar down on the stand, and then when I picked my guitar back up, I'm singing, and I'm like singing a cappella because like I can't hear my amp, and if I can't hear my amp, it's lined out into the board, which is lined into the computer, so I know nobody else is going to be able to hear my guitar. So I'm like, and so I noticed that it wouldn't connect with the cord pushed in all the way anymore, so maybe it got bumped or something and it got bent in there, but I pulled it out just a tiny bit and I got a connection again. So it's like, well, let's try to finish this stream. So then for the rest of the stream, the guitar was just kind of cutting in and out whenever it felt like it, sometimes even in the middle of a loop. So I was supposed to do this open mic later that night, my first time playing out since COVID. I have a friend that I had sort of a falling out with contact me and want to like have all this intense emotional discussion on that day. So I was like, dude, I got to talk to you about this tomorrow. Then I go to the open mic, and like when I was setting up, I changed over to my 12 string, the whole set, everything. I detuned my 12 string from E tuning down to drop a whole step tuning to do this gig. So my guitar case fell over in the house before I left. Thought nothing of it. That stuff happens all the time. I get to the gig and my headstock is majorly cracked in the 12 string. I was trying to tune my guitar and it just wouldn't tune. So I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this audition. What am I going to, whatever. So I just ended up just playing saxophone we just played blues or whatever, I still played. But it was like, I wanted to go out and sing some Van Halen for him, and I didn't get to. So whatever. But the point is I really had a big challenge. I was in public, noticing all right then my guitar's busted. So in that moment, it's either laugh or cry, right? So I started cracking jokes about it. And then people were like, you can't laugh about this. And I was like, well, if I don't laugh about it, I'm going to start bawling. And you don't want to hear that, do you? Everybody starts laughing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So anyway, I was sitting there at the table and I was like, what can I do with this thing, right? If I glue it even, there's no way it'll hold 12 strings again. So I was listening in my mind to my imaginary version of my old friend Paul from Lewis Music, my guitar guy. He would fix all my stuff. He was awesome. And he would always have kids from the music store. I taught there for like 15 years. He had kids from music would bring their guitars in and they were always busted like that. So he would like fix them. So I was like, okay, well, I can imagine what he would do. Right, he would have to open it up a little bit, get the glue in there, and then put a clamp on it. Right, so we're making a video, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it into a Nashville 6-string guitar. Like, you know what a Nashville 6 is, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. So
the idea is I'll buy a 12-string set, and then I'll take out the 6 strings for my guitar,
right,
and then the other 6 bonus strings I'll put on the Nashville 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So that way, I might be able to play it again. I don't know. We're going to see. It could be a total failure, but it's going to be all documented on video for you.
Yeah, and usually the headstock on the neck is glued on anyway in a factory.
Right, and it's right at that joint. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Acoustics are so finicky. Like, goddamn.
So, anyway, if you guys want to see the whole story, click on my video, Matthew's terrible, awful, bad day, my rant from Friday. But I'm gonna edit that down at some point and make it into a concise rant because it's kind of long. It was a live, and it's always hard when you're live. It's like, well, wait, I have twice as many people watching me now as I did when I just did it 10 minutes ago. Crap, right. I got to do it again. Okay, so we got to get started with some reactions here. I'm so glad to have you guys here today. And I had a last minute crowd choice. And it's really because first of all, I noticed that you already had a video already out on your channel that was for Pray for Bali. So I think I'm going to do that one tomorrow. With people that haven't even heard Fay before. And then today we're going to do a Bob Marley cover by Ali Bata. No Woman, No Cry. That's right. We're going to do. Oh man, I love me some Bob Marley. Oh dude. I love playing saxophone and reggae music. It's a really fun kind of music to play in a group with. I wish this video was on Alip's page. It's not. I'm assuming it's one of the ones that was deleted because of copyright. And had to be rescued by being put on another page. I'm a huge Alip Bata fan, as anybody that's been watching the channel knows. I've been introducing all kinds of different people to Alip, and I'm just really excited about doing that because, he is the best solo guitar player that I've discovered in a while. And I mean, there's some really amazing other ones too that I'm also getting into that are comparable and close and inspired by and, all this great stuff. But Alip just has this incredible library of work that he's done. All these massive covers and everything. There's so many of them are right up my alley, like Dream Theater covers and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Anything you guys want to say about this before we get started with our first reaction?
I forget which song we did last week, and we brought up the Pachelbel chord pattern, and the Maroon 5 song "Memories." People will say that, of course, Pachelbel influenced that with a chord change, but they say that Marley, this song specifically, influenced that song "Memories." So I'm curious, hearing this before, because I've heard Alip play this song. I'm curious to hear if I notice any of that kind of connection to that Maroon 5 song. So it'll be kind of fun to notice as I listen to this again. So it'll be fun stuff.
Right on. That's cool. What anything you want to say before we start this, Eve?
No, I mean, I when I was first getting into like really getting into music, I think Bob Marley was one of the artists that I kind of explored. Although I didn't go further into reggae, I mean, he was really one of the only ones that I saw writing actual songs.
Okay. Actual song. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
I don't know. Maybe that sounded a little pretentious.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I was just like, I actually watched a video that was really interesting about Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. I guess there was another guy that was working with him, and I guess Bob Marley got all the credit, and history pretty much forgot about Peter Tosh, and I guess they were both really important, I guess. I don't know all the details.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they played in the Wailers together back when the Wailers were ska before reggae was reggae, you know, like back in the 60s and stuff. Yeah. And Eve, if you want to go deep dive into reggae, check out the Trojan recordings. Trojan was a famous recording studio in Jamaica, or record label, I should say. And like Toots and the Maytals and a bunch of other bands. Really cool stuff. You know, it really captures that vibe, you know, late 60s, early 70s, you know, before dub and stuff. Because a lot of times here in the States, we think, oh, reggae's been around since you know, it was ska, then reggae, and then it went to something else like in the 70s. You know, it's I'm kind of a nerd about Jamaica. I love that little place. So
Cool.
a lot of cool culture. Yeah.
I was gonna say the other reggae that I've really heard has been I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Bad Brains, but they have reggae. Yeah, they have some reggae tunes. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of their like hardcore punk stuff, but I will say they did reggae pretty well too.
Yeah. HR stuff after Bad Brains is pretty cool too. But you know, reggae proper is like way older. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about like 100 years old, but I mean, reggae proper is like 60s. You know, and so like when HR and Bad Brains, I mean, their flavor, you call that roots reggae because it's like you're going back to your roots because the music has evolved a whole lot. It's really interesting. Like I said, I'm a nerd, so I'm sorry I'm doing.
No,
my nerd.
That's another reason why I switched it to this. And you know, there's just been so many requests for me to do this one, and then for the longest time I didn't do it just because it wasn't on Leap's page. So since I've started going and doing these ones that are off of Leap's page, the time's come for this one. We'll have to do the Hotel California at some point. That's really high on the list too. I've been skipping over that one because I know that the Eagles are just the worst when it comes to copyright. So that's been an executive veto, but it's still on the list. It's just I decided to do No Woman No Cry first because I want to show off my Bob Marley shirt. I love Bob Marley and reggae, so we're gonna do it. You guys all ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Alip Bata, No Woman, No Cry, Bob Marley fingerstyle guitar cover. Here we go! Unforgettable. What tuning was he in? I'm trying to figure this out. That was not standard tuning. I don't know what that was. Wow, that was awesome, dude. Man. So, like, because he was hitting those bass notes, I think on the 6th string. He was playing ba da da, and then when you hit the da, he was the last note. He was hitting an open string. So I'm like, what? Was he in like open G tuning, or I don't? He was in something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and I was looking at what one party had his finger. Well, if it was in standard, it'd be like in like a C sharp bass note, and then trilling like where the C would be on the B string. I think either that or on the open E F if it was in standard. So I was trying to figure that out too.
Like, yeah, he was not in standard tuning. That's straight. I discovered that. And he was playing in D. I don't know if he was tuned to D, but he was playing in D rather than in C. I'm used to hearing that song in C, not that you, of course, play in whatever key you want. And so he had already adapted the arrangement by putting it in D to get that one on the open D string. I can already feel why he did that. That's gorgeous. That's smart, right? So then he's got the 5th on an open string. I think what he did was tune the 6th string up to G. So that way, he could just play the 6th string and get that ba, and then he could, on the G, and then he could just write on there in the string G A B G, right? With the thumb, and what? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he had the 6th string tuned to G and the 5th string tuned to A. What the rest of the strings were tuned to, I have no idea. Yeah. I couldn't even, and I know the 4th string was tuned to D, so I got 3 of them. I'm assuming that the G string was on G. I'm assuming that, but the rest I really don't know. So interesting. What else did you guys think about that, man?
Whenever I watched this before, okay, I'll be quick. When I watched this before, I noticed this is one of the first times I saw him play guitar in classical position, where it's on your other leg, where it's on the same side as your fret hand. And it's angled different, and that's a much more ergonomically pleasant way to play guitar once you get used to the posture of playing that way.
Yeah,
so it was kind of interesting, and something I will be willing to bet, even though not much because I'm a teacher and musician, but after seeing this, I'm totally convinced that he's using electric guitar strings on his acoustic. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, they're usually cheaper than acoustic strings. And they might be easier to get in various places. But the timbre of those strings and the way he would, flick into a rasgueado, just the timbre of the strings just has a slightly different tone. In this video, I'm pretty convinced. And I don't know. I haven't had a comment yet to tell me one way or the other. So, but I'm just throwing it out there. That's my bet. That Judge Kyle, boom. That's my verdict.
Either that or maybe it's just the neck is or the guitar itself is super low action. But I would have to bet it's probably electric strings. Just listening to it and the fluidity of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool too. Why not?
I know. Yeah.
I like the percussive, the percussion that he was doing in between all the, doing the bass and the melody, and that was a nice touch.
All in one song, man. All in one. He's like, it's almost as complex as like an 8-bit Nintendo. Where you have the drums and the bass and the melody and the alto part, all whatever, you have your 4-part harmony and your drums, and it's the most minimalistic that you could have to make like a really full sound, right? It's almost he's got that, man, but with a whole lot of soul. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's so good at filling musical holes, but not overfilling them. Like hitting the pulse.
Yeah, like just that one little teeny weeny little embellishment that he could add to the song, but it's never like over the top. It's never distasteful. It's never disrespectful to the song. Right. It's always, Yeah, and the percussion was really good on this one. He was in a totally different position, holding the guitar differently, so he was doing some different percussive techniques. And I think was he hitting the guitar with his elbow at all?
I wasn't sure if his elbow or like the heel of his
The
hand.
heel is,
or
I didn't think it, because Fay was using the elbow, but I think it was more here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Fay does
Yeah.
use like his heel too.
Okay.
I
just watched that one. Yeah. So
Right.
I definitely gonna do more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot more influence the more more you see those guys. It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like Faye plays like, he plays with it sitting on a table though, so it's a little different in that case.
Yeah, there's so many different great ways to play, and like ever since I started with fingerstyle, like I just have never turned back. And ever since I started playing guitar, I never turned back. But there's just something about fingerstyle, like having your actual fingers on the strings versus, and they're not against using a pick. I can just do 5 times more than I could do with a pick. You know what I mean? So like I'll still use a pick sometimes for certain things, but generally I'd have to be playing something pretty chunky to use a pick. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I just either strum, or if I'm gonna strum or do arpeggios, either way I throw the pick away, man. Right? Yeah. That's like all the downstrokey stuff, or the really fast.
Yeah.
But oh man.
Well, and see what you two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll see what you two think, since musicians and drummers as well. I always
thank you.
Equate to like fingerstyle. When you're just picking, you have technique and stuff, but you don't have quite as many if you're doing fingerstyle with your pick hand. Mm-hmm. And I explained it to a drummer one time that was playing like with the rock grip, holding both sticks the same way instead of the traditional jazz grip. Mm-hmm. Where your hand or your palm is upturned, usually on your left hand.
That's a marching too. They do that.
Yeah. Well, and I said, there's a reason why you have one hand upturned, so you can do all these other techniques that you can't do. Mm-hmm. And the drummer kind of looked at me, because he played guitar as well, and he's like, okay, I get what you're saying now. I get it. He still wanted to drum the way he wanted to drum, which is cool, but it was a fun conversation, because you're like, why do you use your fingers sometimes? Just use, it's like, because fingers, I don't know, that sometimes you just need that sound.
That's what if you want to use both, you can just do hybrid picking, which is really, once you get the technique down, it actually very very useful.
That's something that I just never really got into, although it's really neat. Also, like using a thumb pick is another way you can do it.
I've
never really got into that either.
Oh, Matthew, don't. Just don't.
Yeah. Just don't.
Whenever I see people finger picking with thumb pick, it's like, okay, I get it. You don't want to have a thumbnail that's like a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch long. I get it, because when I go through customs and I hand, even though I haven't been on vacation since before the world changed, and I'd hand the customs guy or lady or whatever my passport, and they'll see my fingernails on my hand. They just kind of give me that look, and then I usually keep my pinky a little bit longer, not for any nefarious reason, but it's helpful. Like if you got an itch on your face, I know that seems stupid, but I'm a weird dude. But anyway, I always go through this awkward little exchange of glances going through customs, like, oh, why do you have fingernails?
Yeah, just make sure that you blow your nose really good before you go into customs. That way you're not going through there like
sniffling.
Okay, that's as far as the references could go. All right.
Yes.
All right, this is so much fun, guys. All right, so let's I'm just gonna take a little break here before we go on. Everybody that's chatting, no. After we're done, I'm going to stick around and I'm going to address all the chats and hang out an extra 10 to 45 minutes if I need to. Who knows? Well, if you guys can keep chatting, we can talk, and you know, it's all good. It was really productive last week, so I'm obviously going to continue that. It was really cool. In fact, that's where my choice came from, was from all the great chat last week. But before we do my choice, how about we do one of you guys? Who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll go, but I have to go to the bathroom real quick if you don't mind.
Well, you know what? You know what? We got the Zoom room ending in 10 minutes anyway. So why don't you just run to the bathroom real quick? I'll stall, and then we'll roulette and do yours. How's that sound?
Oh, sounds good, yeah.
All right. So, you know, I got to stall. That's what's up. But is there anything else you wanted to say about the No Woman, No Cry, Kyle, before we move on?
I just love that song. It's fun. Going to Jamaica, I've gotten to go there a few times for vacation, and when you go there, you see all this Marley stuff. And talking about references, we can't talk about. If people ask you about Bob Marley, it is a reference for other things too. But you gotta understand. Yeah, I know.
No, come on. There's not. What could you be talking about? There's just.
Hey,
no.
People are people, you know. But what's awesome when you go there, and I was curious, like if like going to Liverpool or somewhere would be like kind of similar. Since Marley is from Jamaica, and he's like the Beatles, he is like on a whole different echelon of love and respect. I mean, yeah, you can, you know, love a certain type of music and stuff, but there it's like it might be something like in England or something. You know, there's certain songs and pubs that it seems like everybody sings along and has a great time. And Jamaica like that. You know, there's some Marley songs, and you can tell that the people just absolutely adore what he did with his music and what he did, you know, putting Jamaica on the map in a different way, you know, and it's the level of love. It is so amazing to talk to someone that has that. And it's not just like one or two people. I mean, you will run into a lot of people, you know, and that's a really awesome, you know, thing to experience, you know. And like I brought up Liverpool, it'd be cool to run into someone that's like, oh yeah, George and Paul and Ringo and John. I always forget John. You know, it's like, oh yeah, those guys were here, you know. And I just am curious at the level of love, you know, for different big name artists and stuff. And, you know, it kind of makes me think of Elite, how his fans are so adoring and supportive, you know. It's really cool to experience stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm back, by the way, guys. I've been back for the past 2 minutes.
Yeah. I see it.
Sorry, I was blabbing.
Well,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
That was more for our Elite video.
You know.
We were still going on. It was a Bob Marley Jamaica tangent, but you know, Kyle's really good at the Jamaica tangents. So, and I have never been to Jamaica, so yeah, tangents are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, I'll shut up because I can't keep going, and you two will be going, Kyle, we need to watch another video.
All right, yeah, good point. All right, let's do the roulette then. All right, so don't anybody go nowhere. We'll be right back, and I'll be back in like 3 seconds. Goodbye, and hello, I'm back. See, I said 3 seconds. Was that accurate? Was it actually 3 seconds, or was it less than 3 seconds? I don't know. I don't think it was more than 3 seconds. But either way, stick around because they're going to be right back here. There they are. There's Eve coming right back in. And Kyle's coming right back. And we're going to be doing some more great reactions here for you. So, everybody, oh my. There you go. Admit Kyle as well.
Hello.
I wish I could set it up so I didn't have to click admit. I need to figure that out. I thought I had it set up to do that. But then it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. I still have to keep clicking the button to say, come in, please, come in. Even though like I gave you like my custom link and high-tech password to get in. No one else is going to be able to get in. I know it's safe. I still have to click admit. Okay, so this is so much fun, guys, and we're gonna go on to Eve's pick. So what you got for us, sister? Tell us.
This is actually a band I've been into for the last few years. Originally, I got into them because they were mixing black metal and Americana folk, like Appalachia style music.
Okay,
and
I didn't expect that.
No, I know it's actually mixed in quite like masterful way. Austin Lunn is he's a hell of a songwriter. Yeah, this record right here, what he did is he did all his Americana folk bluegrass stuff on one side, and then he did all the like more, I guess, the heavier stuff on the other. He's been going for, I want to say, like since 2006, 2007. I think that was the first record. And I just actually, I have it right here, but his most recent record, And Again Into the Light, on vinyl, cool. Which is excellent. What was I going to say? I don't know. His music has a certain earthiness, but it's also transcendental, and I don't know. It definitely takes you to a different place, despite the like the black metal vocals on some of the heavier stuff. It's very just kind of it's floaty. I don't know. It's very nature oriented. Throughout the whole thing, and then there's social commentary, like on this song. This is he wrote this about a friend that died, actually, and his stuff was left out on the curb, and he was kind of forgotten. And it was a friend that he that had moved from the country to the city for a job, and just like dealing with that change and the loneliness that goes along with just being caught up in, I guess, this current version of capitalism. Just like, are you going to be forgotten? And I mean, yeah, a lot of people are.
Wow. Oh, it's intense. A lot of stuff, man. All right. So, are you guys all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Excelente. So, make sure you guys all smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, mash the subscribe button, and a little zombie's going to come up and go, bring, and it's going to be running happy, and it's going to put your name up there. Yay! Thank you for subscribing. So make sure you subscribe. Also, subscribe to Even Kyle's pages. Without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Panopticon, the Wandering Ghost. Here we go!
Far off, over behind the hills, and he was raised on the silent stars and the sounds of the whippoorwill. Now he's drifting slowly, in search of hope and wealth, traded in poverty and scenery for money and hell. He's just a young man, still in his prime, now faceless cogged into some old factory line. He's got a Ford wallet, and he's far from home. Beef and whiskey that he'll drink alone. The years pass by, as they often do, and autumn's grays, and winter's blues. His memories fade in the pastel hues cinder block room. Some say that his heart just quit beneath the concrete and steel and the city lights before the first frost. But I knew that wasn't it. Sigh upon his last breath, those twilight moments of existence. He died from a broken heart, from no mountains in the distance. It's true, it was the vile hum of grinding gears and the impressive weight of concrete and steel that wore down his soul until it was flat, and then it crushed his heart through a broken back, and they buried him there in a stranger's grave with his proud mountain so far away. The factories closed and the buildings burned, and they left all his things out on the curb. And sometimes you'll see him on a darkened road, his lonely ghost wandering home.
That was not what I was imagining when you said like mixing metal and like folk Americana. That was more to me like, I mean, maybe the singer's a metal singer or something. It was like,
yes.
To me, it was more like talking like you would have had in like an old country song where they were just kind of like telling the story while they were playing the guitar. It kind of felt more reminiscent of like that singer-songwriter you kind of vibe. I liked it. That was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I said before, that particular record he did one song, like one. It's called "The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness" 1 and 2, and one is all his folks in Americana bluegrass stuff, and then the other is all the heavier stuff that's still like Americana folk influence, but it's much heavier, and he does his black metal vocal, which I've heard some criticisms that the vocals are not loud enough or not like more present enough in the mix as far as his like the heavier stuff goes. But yeah, I mean, like this is vast. It's not vastly different, I wouldn't say. It's just like the instrumentation is different.
The instrumental part was my favorite part. I liked the overall vibe. I liked the little how they kind of, you know, all the instrumentalists kind of took the solo kind of together. It wasn't really just one player. It just felt nice. It was a nice break. I liked it. What do you think, Kyle?
There's a friend of mine here where I lived. He was a colleague, and he loves singer-songwriters. And when he built a house, he kind of repurposed. Took him a long time to find an old barn to repurpose, but he repurposed a lot of wood from an old barn and, of course, new materials. But he designed his house so he could have house concerts. And this reminded me of a few different people that's come through. One is Verlin Thompson, which was Guy Clark's guitar player. And there's a song that Verlin does. There's another guy. And the reason why I can't remember this guy's name is he was nearly chugging Cabernet, and he was old. He was like in his like near 70, and he's just like down in the red sauce. And halfway through his set, he very bluntly says that he needs to go to the bathroom and puts his guitar down, and everyone's going, wait, he's not joking. So anyway, all that stuff aside, it just brought back all those memories, which was really cool. I like the bluegrass vibe. And like Matthew said, the storyteller aspect, because there is a huge tradition, of the storyteller, singer, songwriter, that you just kind of get that vibe going, like Arlo Guthrie and players like that. And you just kind of get that story going. Now, besides those memories that got triggered, and May triggered isn't the most useful word there.
Triggered.
Besides the memories, and I'm like, oh no, stop it. No, but besides those memories that came back listening, at first I was thinking, okay, this is like Tom Waits with a bluegrass band, And Eve, you mentioned like criticism on the mix. I did start, even though I didn't get very far, because Panopticon is a type of architecture or an architectural element or something. But anyway, I was curious to see if they handle their own production, because that is a common trait, that is a singer, you tend to not put your vocals where they should be, because that's the way you want it to sound. And plus, you're not a producer making, preparing songs for, an audience. You're an artist thinking like, oh, hey, how do I want to carve my sonic stone into something for people,
Right. Yeah. On that, it's really just one guy doing most things. I think he has like a couple of session musicians that he uses for like violin, cello, and like one other thing, but he does everything. He plays banjo, guitar, bass, drums, does vocals, resonator guitar. There's a couple others. I'd have to look on the sleeve of this vinyl that I showed you guys.
Right on. Well, it was neat. It was different. And from your initial description, I was sort of expecting more like, she wasn't a bad girl.
There's some of that. There's definitely there's like if you go and listen to a song like Snowbird and Branches or Oaks Ablaze or those two will probably encapsulate more the black metal side of things, but it's still very ethereal but earthy and definitely grounded in folk and the mountains in Appalachia. He's actually a Southern man, but he lives in Duluth, Minnesota at the moment. He's from Tennessee originally.
Right on.
Yeah, you can hear that influence, because there's unless you've lived in like the part of the country where bluegrass is just something that you grow up playing, and it's it's interesting to like not being from those areas and you hear that music, because it's a whole different, and it's a whole different feeling that comes out. That's cool that it's that is present a lot. You hear that in.
For
sure.
I think he froze. Pardon? All right. Well, we'll give Kyle a second here to hopefully come back, and he'll just rejoin. Stuff does happen. But we got two more really good ones coming up here. And so, yeah. He's frozen in time there. Do you have any more comments you want to say about this, Eve, before we move on?
I would definitely suggest going to check out like all of his stuff. I mean, the black metal stuff I can see not everybody liking, but I mean, like, maybe giving it a chance. It is definitely very melodic. But heavy, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just my personal taste. I mean, they're one of those it's one of those bands that kind of, it just like the music just kind of melts into you.
That sounds nice. Melt me, music. Melt me. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be melted a little bit, you know. Yeah, definitely. I can vibe with that. So here he comes. Here he comes.
There we go. Hey, I am back.
Yeah, you disappeared on. You said, I think the last word you said was present, and I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. And then he's frozen. Okay,
Yes.
guys. Do you remember where you were tracking?
Oh, no, I don't, to be honest, because after a little bit, I was like, oh, I think my internet died. So I was thinking that I open up a tab and to see if Google would load up, because that's my go-to to. And so then as I'm doing that, then Zoom shut down. I'm like, oh yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on then. Everybody that's chatting, remember, I'm going to stick around at the end and chat with you. So go ahead and chat all you want. You can put your comments in the whatever. We got two more, guys. Two more really, 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 really good ones. Well, I'm not sure which one to save for last. What do you think, Kyle?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a real
man.
tough.
That's hard. It's a hard decision, because I was just looking at the pick you have. I'm like, man, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I picked this based on the chat last week. I stuck around in the chat, and people were saying, "Dude, you want to hear a D8?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to hear that. That's not even on the piano. How the hell do you sing that?" Right? You can't even synthesize that. It's off the end of the piano.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. So that's where we're at.
Well, hey, okay. It just hit me. I have my microphone here sitting on top of my dice box, and I could roll a D12. And if it's odd, we go with me because I'm on. And if it's even, not that you're more or less odd than I am, but if it's even, we could go with yours. If you want to make it kind of random,
do it. Randomize it.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can move the camera.
Yes. Speaking of internet issues, I'm having a couple myself. It keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. Hold on.
Yeah, we're hanging in there as best as we can.
So we got a 9. That's odd.
Oh, so that means Kyle will be next. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the odd one next. Kyle, why don't you introduce us to your pick? What are we going to be reacting to next?
Okay, so we have Nightwish, and it was maybe the first or second Nightwish song I've done. I have only done I don't know, like 3 or 4, and I think half of those are at least with you. I got a lot of suggestions from people, and with Nightwish, there's been different singers in their history, and I need to specify, I do not know a whole lot about Nightwish. So when it comes to speaking about their history, I am not a very good nor knowledgeable person for that. I'm just going by what people have told me. Mm-hmm. So this is their singer Anette from, I think an earlier part of their history. I know she was before Floor. I don't know if she was the first singer or not, but I think
she was the first. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
She was.
Okay.
She was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know when it comes to getting information wrong, you can only get beat up in the comments so much. It's like, well, hey, I don't know. Help me out, So,
sure,
but anyway,
fair enough.
Yeah. With the song, this is Anette, and the song is called Amaranth, and this is a comment or suggestion that I received and share with Matthew, because I know he's down with Nightwish and stuff, and we always have fun reacting to him. I enjoy getting to hear, some different music and stuff. So this is always fun for me to check him out.
So I've definitely reacted to a whole lot of Floor. Floor is my voice teacher. Every time she does a lesson or something, I'm on top of that. I love it. I've also reacted to one with Tarja, however you say her name. She did the Phantom of the Opera. I reacted to that as one of Jennifer's picks because she loves the Phantom of the Opera, so she wanted to hear Nightwish do it. And since it was just that one song, You know, I have no idea, you know, how much Tajda can do, but it was totally different than Flora. It was, that song at least was extremely operatic diva-ish. It was not as belty rocky as Flor. But like I said, I just only heard that one song. So
Right.
I'm sure she does lots of belty rocky stuff in other songs. So I'm excited to hear this because this is the one singer that I'm still brand new to. So this is
Awesome.
exciting. How about have you heard this singer, Eve?
Yeah, no, I remember hearing the first singer of Nightwish years and years ago, and I can't say I was a fan of the band then. I haven't really, you know, recently checked them out. So sometimes, you know, you don't hear an artist for years, and then you hear them years later, and you're like, oh well, why didn't I like it back then?
I mean, that can happen. You know, tastes change, you know, and people mellow as they get older. And, you know, I remember people that were my age, you know, when I was half my age, right? And they're saying, oh, yeah, you know, when you're my age, you'll mellow out. I was like, no, I won't. Yeah, you will.
Yeah. Like, I absolutely hated the Dixie Chicks when I was younger. And now I'm like, wow, that's some good songwriting, good instrumentation, harmonies. Yeah, like I think it's different when you learn to play an instrument and you can kind of open up and appreciate more.
Oh, yeah, and the sound has been such a blessing to me. Like, you know, it's just, my eyes have been open to so many incredible musicians I had never heard of. Nightwish is just one example, but we already reacted to Elite Bata. You know, I'd never heard of him, right? This is all thanks to you guys through your comments, through your chats. So go ahead, keep them going. And if you want to beat the line at the end, when I respond to everybody's chats, you can send a super. Supers go first, right? That's always cool. Help out the channel. And make sure you like. We want to get some more people in here to see this. This video has over 100 million views. This is going to be some good stuff. Are you guys all ready?
Yeah.
Woo! Yes.
All right, so without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Nightwish Amaranth official music video. Here we go! I should have recognized the title because I've definitely reacted to a live version of that with Floor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Vakken or if it was Wembley or both. I honestly don't remember, but I've definitely heard Floor sing that, and so it was so interesting to me because I hadn't heard the first singer. Like Annette's voice, at least on this song, was kind of bright and poppy. It was like I metal Madonna almost. If you, I mean, I know it's hard to put it into a you know what I mean, but it was like really bright and shiny, and the way that they did the harmony vocals, like on top, and like the really high like descanty stuff at the end, right? It was like totally like soprano, but like a pop soprano. Whereas when I heard Tarja, she was, at least on that one song, she was much darker, more operatic, big diva sound, right? And then Floor, of course, and I've heard her do a whole lot of songs, and both those two only heard her do one, so it's not fair. But I've heard Floor do the entire range of it, from opera to that bright poppy, and I don't know, for the studio recording of that, man, it felt like I don't know, 90s, late 90s. I don't know exactly when that came out.
I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say the vocals kind of reminded me of the first singer of The Gathering, actually.
Yeah.
What's her name? Annette von Gerksbergen, or I think that's how you pronounce it.
Her voice is really bright and shiny like that too. Yeah. It's like, and it's outstanding to me when you take that really deep, dark music that the drums and the bass and the guitar are making, and then you put the orchestral, the choir, and the pretty piano keyboardy things that Tuomas is doing, both production wise and also adding when he's doing a concert, and then you have this bright female vocalist or dark female vocalist, either way, but to have that high pitched vocalist on top of this deep dark music, it's so nice, and it makes it so that the vocals don't have to be as loud decibel wise, because pitch wise there's not as much music up there, right? In the melody range, most of it's down below the volume, and so you know what I mean. Then it's like the high pitched female vocals can just kind of rise to the top of the mix. You know what I mean? I really like that. Yeah, no, I mean, because the instrumentation being a little on the, I guess, low mid bass end of things, and that her vocals being more on the treble high mid end of things, where it works perfectly mix wise. Yeah, I like that. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, you mentioned that poppy sound. That's what I was thinking of too. I was thinking of like Evanescence and stuff, even though the sound isn't the same, but to me, era wise, and I did when you mentioned when the song came out, it was released in 07. 07, okay. Yeah, so okay. I was curious, like if Evanescence may have been an influence or something, but this might be the first studio version of a Nightwish song that I've heard, and I really liked hearing the guitars so crisp and clean. And this, as opposed to some of the stuff I've heard with Floor, this one seemed a lot more guitar driven. And it was interesting to me, the kind of breakdown near the end of the song. And I, when it kind of changed to that breakdown part, I looked at the time because I was thinking, oh, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 more minutes. It's like, oh, there's 20 more seconds. And instead of doing, which and it made me think too, like when did the genty almost math rock kind of breakdown where you have to go doom doom doom, and you have this really staccato rhythmic thing, and before, when I've heard Nightwish, I've always liked that they didn't do the genre expectations. It's like they're not following the rule book, which is cool, because as a listener, it that level of surprise and irony is what you appreciate. You know, when you hear this, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get beat over the head with like 12/6 time. And yes, I know that doesn't make sense. As a
Actually, there's irrational time signatures, so 12/6 time could technically be a thing. Seriously, look it up on YouTube. There's several videos on it. Irrational time signatures.
Okay.
I don't know. I was making shit up. Okay.
But you know, I always like that they do something that, you know, pushes outside the rules of the expectations of that genre. You know, because me as a listener that doesn't know a whole lot about the band, I can notice those things. Go, oh, hey, that's cool that they're doing that. I get why people love this band that much. You know.
The video was pretty intense too. It looked like it was telling some sort of a story when it wasn't doing their show, you know, showing the footage of them playing. I'm not sure. I'd have to watch it a couple more times to really try to get what the story is and everything. Yeah,
usually like angels weeping blood, it's kind of like a stigmata. You know, it's like a supernatural incarnation. You know, and I don't know what amaranth means. I always thought it was like a substance or something, you know.
Well,
it's a stone.
Okay.
It's a food too.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of amethyst, and I was thinking, well, I don't know. And that's to me, I'd need to look that one up to know what amaranth is. I'm sure someone in the comments will go, "You dummies, you don't know," you know. And
I know amaranth as a grain. It's a rare grain.
It is.
Yeah, but it's also other things too, I'm sure. It's a cool sounding word, if nothing else.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It could be a cool neck tattoo, amaranth. You know, just it's a cool ring to it.
It's just like it's just some muscly guy with like tribal tattoo, just like, and it says amaranth. I don't know, something like that.
Khalifa coffee, now with amaranth added. No, just kidding. Oh man, so that was really awesome. So now I can say that I've heard at least one song from all the different vocal eras of Nightwish, and I'm definitely going to be continuing both with the live shows I've been doing with Floor and exploring the different eras too. Yeah. I love the band. I love the concept of symphonic metal. It's different than prog metal, because I mean, I don't want to say it's not as complex, because it is, but it's not as notey. Like when you have a guitar solo, right? Shredders tend to play more notes than Empu does. He plays a rehearsed, written solo that's the same every time. And I'm not saying that the Shredders don't play the same solo every time. If that's what they do, they do. But you know, it's just not as many notes, right, as say a Dream Theater solo, right? Yeah. And it's the style. Right, everything's pre-composed exactly, and I know Dream Theater pre-composes exactly too, but they just do it with more notes, I guess is the word.
The other thing is, I mean, even I think John Petrucci said this. He kind of improvises live, which is just crazy. Like you're playing all these notes, but you're not. He never plays.
No, dude, no. I've seen them play live twice. If he was improvising, he's using that word so loosely, dude. He played every single thing, note for freaking note for note for note, note for note for note. And I mean, maybe he was intending to improvise, but I'll tell you what, it came out exactly like the record, and that's
fair enough.
That's him. And you know, like one of the things I loved watching, tangent alert, I loved watching was when I watched the video where Dream Theater was auditioning drummers to replace Mike Portnoy, and it gave a real insight into the way they work, because you know they were showing like they would just try to just jam with somebody. The way we write songs is somebody will come up with a riff and then they'll play it, and then everybody will come in and add their part, and we'll just jam, and then we'll stop, talk about it, and then it morphs into a song, right? And so they had all these different drummers that came in, and they're like, hey, can you hang with this? Right? And it was like, it was really neat. It was really neat to watch, because they do improvise. Yeah. But it's in the beginning process before it's written. And then once it's composed, then that's the classical. Then okay, now it's like this forever. This is how it's going to be. And they even make tracks. They always play along with tracks. At least since Metropolis, if not before, they've always played with tracks. So that means that they can't really improvise too much, because if you make your guitar solo 4 bars longer, it throws the whole rest of the song off.
True. I think they, on that note, that drummer video you're talking about, I think that's one reason why they didn't go with Marco Miniman and they went with Mangini, because Miniman was like, he was I would say he's like maybe like one step above Mangini. I mean, he's like, well, from a technical standpoint, but Mangini's no slack, of course. But yeah, I think because of that improv sort of like looseness.
Yeah, I've said it before. I mean, I feel like Mike Portnoy left big shoes to fill, but it wasn't just the drum chops, which he's obviously incredible at. I feel like Mangini's as good of a drummer when it comes to just drum parts. But, you know, when it comes down to, I mean, at least he can play the Portnoy parts, you know, right? For sure. But then when it comes down to vocals, lyric writing, they lost a lot there.
Oh yeah. They didn't really recover, I would say, until Distance Over Time. I mean, that was the first record that I actually liked all the way through, as far as new Dream Theater goes. Other than that, I think it took them a bit of time to catch back up to where they were before Portnoy exited the band.
I love the song On the Backs of Angels. That was the first song, the first track of the first album they had with Mangini. I really love that song to this day.
That's a good track. I mean, I wasn't saying that I don't like any of it.
I know. I'm just all right. Well, we got 1 minute till Zoom Room Roulette. Any more comments here we want to say about this Nightwish before we move on?
Nah.
Okay, excellent. So let's roulette, and we'll come back. Everyone, stick around because Dimash is next.
And I'll give me 20 extra seconds to come back.
20 extra seconds, starting now. Hello, everyone. Hello. We have one more reaction left. The best of the day has been saved for last. My choice. That's right. Everybody loves Matthew's choice, right? It's the best choice of the whole day. Matthew's choice. Yay! And so we're going to be doing Matthew's choice. And this was influenced heavily, like I said, by the chat last week when you guys were talking to me in the chat. And then we continued to chat afterwards, like I'm going to do today. If you've been chatting, I will respond to you afterwards. So stick around, mash that like button so we can get lots of people to see Dimash. So everybody says that Dimash can sing above the range of the piano. I have never, that I know of, heard any man or woman do this in my entire life. So, and this is an original song too. And so he wrote this song to go up into whistling off the top of the piano. Everyone says it's gorgeous. This is a live performance for 155,000 screaming fans, and it's supposed to be a pretty incredible performance. And so that's why I picked it. I bumped it up on the request list for y'all because I'm just so ridiculously curious to hear this one. What do you think, Eve?
I mean, how many have we reacted to at this point? Like 2 of them, I think.
Yeah, we did SOS, and then we did the Diva Dance, which was very, very, very short.
Right. Yeah, I remember that was last week. The Diva Dance. Excuse me.
Right. That was with Sarah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you said he gets up to D8 in this.
I didn't say that. That's what my commenters were saying.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm just like, what? Like I haven't heard Mariah Carey sing that high. Like I mean she's like, you know, at least in America, she's the one when people think of when they think of, you know, whistle tone singing really high from a sort of modern, you know, like, you know, I guess Ella Fitzgerald would be before that, right? You know, Breaking the Glasses. That I still think that'd be a cool party trick. Just you definitely wouldn't want to do that to people's glasses when they were in their hands.
Right. Especially if they had like wine or something. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, that fancy stuff, man. You know. Yeah, for Mother's Day, I got my wife a bottle of Crystalline Añejo tequila. It was like $60 or something for one little bottle, and it tasted like tequila to me. I don't know, but she loved it. My brother-in-law loved it. They were thinking it was like the greatest thing ever, you know. And I mean, it was pretty smooth. But I'm more of a beer guy than tequila. But you know, you really don't have to look too hard to tell what I'm into the most. It's kind of like not hard to tell, you know. So at any rate,
yeah, I'm a beer gal myself, beer and seltzer. I like hard liquor. I just kind of started to like not drink that years ago. Those hangovers were always the worst.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I am super excited after this nice little mental break that we had. Super excited. Keep chatting, guys. I'm going to stick around at the end. Do it and talk to you guys. Make sure you thumb this up. If you're a Dimash fan, you want more people to see, I'm sharing Dimash with the world. So please thumb it up. Like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. Hit Evelyn's page. Hit Kyle's page. Subscribe. Anything else you guys want to say before we begin this one? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. This is a little bit long. Once 5 minutes and something. I'm excited. So, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Dimash. And this is Unforgettable Day, Gakku. Here we go!
Bir көргеннен ғашық болдым өзіңе еркелеген балдай тәтті сөзіңе қылығыңмен баурап алдың жанымды қарай бердім нұрға толы жүзіңе пай-пай şirkin umutamaz kız Vay vay şirkin umutamaz kız Ansam gitken anladım seni Жүрекке ешкім жүргіз алмас әмірі Сөндір алмас сезімімнің жалынын Бақыттымын бұл әлемде сен екен Тағдырыма тарту етсе Тәңірім Пай-пай şirkin umutamaz kız Pay-pay şirkin umutamaz kız Ansam gütken armanım sen Allah
That was that. Yeah, that it was just that one place where he hit that D8. That wasn't digitally altered.
It sounded real to me. I thought it sounded like a freaking piccolo or something, man. It was just. I mean, I guess that's what whistle tone would be. Is just so like airy, but it felt like it was just like it was like that airy sound mixed with the pitch mixed with like that blowing over a Coke bottle kind of sound. So I can imagine to do that, he had to have his throat just so incredibly relaxed. I can't possibly imagine.
I mean, yeah, that's probably why I could only do it in like a short burst like that too.
Yeah. Have you either of you seen people do like the record setting for singing like that?
I haven't. No.
Because there's a video or two when I was giving guitar lessons that I don't know, a student and we chased that tangent one time, and this guy would hold his one nostril shut. And talking about whistle tones, because it's pretty much all coming out of your sinus cavity.
Right.
And because I was curious, because pulling up this video, you see the suggestions. There's a whole bunch of things about Dimash highest note, blah blah blah, all those things that to let you know, oh, he's gonna sing a high note in this video. So I was curious to see how he would get ready for, like what he was doing right before he hit that note and stuff like that. Because he's such a performer, and being on his knees on the, in that position might not be the easiest to get airflow. So I was really curious how that was gonna work out, if that's, what based on when he performed that note,
Oh man, he had 100% control of that audience. And it looked like, I mean, I couldn't see real clearly, but it looked like there was a large population of young, gorgeous little girls there just screaming their heads off for him. Oh, man. He I can only imagine the high that guy was riding at the end of that song. Because, I mean, you can't deny it. Live performance is a drug. It makes your body create endorphins and, dopamine and all this stuff. And, I mean, it's like Eleanor Goldfield says, it's the only drug that has no negative side effects that she knows of.
Except for ego.
Well,
yeah, I know. Well, but lots of drugs kind of tap into ego.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah.
And not saying that, I don't know him. That was just a blanket statement, not anything about Dimash. But, his way of working the crowd is really cool. I did happen to look up out of curiosity, because I was curious, like the setting, like what Gakku, which I'm probably saying incorrectly, Gakku voices, and just getting a tiny bit more information about him, because apparently he was all classically trained.
Mm-hmm.
And
sounds
then,
that way. Instead
of taking a position at an opera, he decided to, go the more contemporary route, in which, us here in the States, we don't, since we're in an amalgam of different cultures, we don't really have, folk music here doesn't have the same music as in other cultures that have had like a 500 or 1,000 year presence. Like in the UK, you could sing a song, with people somewhere that people have been singing for like 800 years. And that has a different level of meaning and cultural significance than like here in the States, like, hey, let's sing some Justin Bieber, or something like that.
God.
Or hey, let's, there's, many examples, but you get the idea that I'm going for there. And that's and his choice to pursue like kind of having one foot in the traditional music of where he's from, mm-hmm. and the other foot in a more contemporary styling, that he is talking about riding that high. That has got to be an amazing feeling to, have the cultural love like that, and to play something that's traditional yet give it a slightly different spin. and keep all that momentum. That's a really cool thing to watch happen.
Okay, so I had some more things I wanted to say about this.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, sure. This is his original song. I would not have been able to tell that it was his original song versus, a really highly respected cover that was already famous. It was a great song. Apparently, according to the chat, he was 17 when he wrote this. I mean, this guy is extremely talented. I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding in the chat and the audience about our commentary about the D8. The note itself was not short. No, we heard it had vibrato. We heard it had body. We heard it was a good note. We heard it. For me, anyway, and I mean, maybe this is just I had my own false expectation. The way I heard the first two songs of the Diva Dance and with the SOS, I had just imagined it a little bit differently. I had imagined not just him just wham slamming you with a D8 like that and just holding it and then it vanishing. And this is my own expectation. It's just I imagined it would be more like in a melody or in a phrase where it might be like the end of a phrase or whatever. I didn't expect it to be the beginning of a phrase like that. So it caught me a little bit off guard because, here I am sort of mentally prepared for it, and then it was not at all what I expected, which is cool. I mean, I loved it. I thought it sounded incredible. And, I cannot imagine anyone's physical body making that sound, let alone a male's physical body, which is you generally going to be having more difficulty creating pitches of that pitch. That vibration is so high. Like, wow.
It almost like I think a certain part of it got cut off or at least that's what I heard because I think it was almost going above the range to which humans can hear.
It was pretty intense. And I mean, like, I just massive respect. I am super honestly, genuinely grateful for my pick. I loved it. I thought it was crazy. And I thought it was really, really, really crazy. Like, it's one of those things like you just don't expect that sound to come out of someone, and it was there, and it was real, and it was incredible. And I just can only imagine, I want to see more from Dimash. I want to see more originals, more performances. I can only imagine as he seasons and grows and, collaborates and explodes. I mean, he's already got over 1 million subscribers, incredible singer. Anything else you want to say, Kyle? You got kind of booted out in the middle there.
Yeah, I know. I'm so impressed with his sensibility of being a performer, and that's why I looked up a little bit of his information because that's one criticism of studying music at a university level is you learn all about theory, you learn all about playing the notes, but you don't learn about getting on stage and connecting with that audience necessarily. And that's a whole different skill set, and people that don't perform or don't have, jobs where you have to connect with a large group of people, that is such an entirely different skill set than whatever it is you are doing. That is, like for example, as a singer, his ability to connect with an audience is an entirely different skill set than his ability to sing.
Oh yeah. And to write songs is an entirely different skill set.
Right.
I mean,
that song, I mean, I don't know, that there were some parts like the high note. It was just like, it was like a guitar player putting in an extra guitar solo. It's like, oh, well, that's cool. I didn't get the, and I know a lot of it is me not knowing the language or what the song is about, because of that barrier. But I mean, there were parts of the song I was like, oh, well, this is, an okay song. It's not like I was blown away by the song itself, but his performance and going to the edge of the stage, knowing when to do that, knowing when to pull back, knowing to create that sense of drama. That's what really captivated me,
So
as
that
opposed to the song.
It was French, right?
I to be honest, I have no idea.
I mean, you got to factor in the language barrier too, man.
Yeah.
And okay, like in general, a lot of people in other places in the world, or especially maybe Europe or whatever, maybe in Asia, people speak more languages. I'm an idiot. I only know English and that's it. I know a tiny bit of French. Just enough that I could tell. I thought it sounded like some French in there. That's it. I'm not fluent in other languages. I know a little bit of Sanskrit, ancient Sanskrit, from yogic chanting and stuff. Yeah. That's it. That's it. So you got to factor in this guy. He performs in somebody said what was it, 17 languages or something ridiculous. I mean, he's fluent in a bunch of languages. Sings in a whole mess of languages. I learned to sing in different languages when I was in college and stuff. It's not that hard to just learn how to enunciate the stuff. But think about it. He's that expressive in a language that was not his native tongue. That's extra, dude. That's extra.
Yeah, that's kind of that's it's showing off. Yeah. We get it. You're all of it. Yeah, great.
Well, okay. I mean, I remember when Eric, my buddy from Buckget.com, was reacting to Dream Theater. You were with there, Kyle, right? Yeah. And then he was like, they played a lot of right notes, but yeah. That was basically his reaction.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
not everybody likes everything we do, and that's okay.
Right.
No, of course. And even with, I love technical music, but sometimes it just, I mean, not with this, but I'm saying in general, as a comment on technical music and songwriting, sometimes it's the technique's cool, but is it a novelty or does it really stand up? If you know what I mean.
Well, I guess I was incorrect. Somebody just says the song was in Kazakh, his mother tongue. Okay, so apparently that he that was in his first language. But either way, still, okay, I'm still giving him credit for writing a song that's that good at 17. I mean, come on, dude. You're still wet behind the ears at that point, and you're freaking writing stuff that is totally professional, I'm still super impressed. Even if that song wasn't in French, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't. Maybe Kazakh in some ways sounds like French. I don't know. Maybe it's just the vowels. I thought, but I thought it sounded like it.
When you sing, that's what you got, the vowels. That gives you. You can't sing. Well, I guess you could sing L, even though that you're kind of making it a vowel. Oh, but something like K or S, that's kind of weird to sing.
You have to master the IPA, Matthew. Yeah, it says I don't know if you're watching the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with the chat here. It's almost time. It's almost time. If everybody stick around, we're gonna have chat time with Matthew whenever we finish this up here. But I'm blown away, dude. I liked it. It was cool. Like I said, the D8 context was not what I expected. I expected it to be more surrounded by other notes and a phrase, and it wasn't. Other than that, because that's what I was listening for. I was listening for, and I was like, that ain't D8. That ain't D8. No way. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah. Well, and you could see the crowd getting ready, and
they knew.
I thought it was funny. All the people have their phones upright. And I always tell my wife, it's turn the phone this way, so then it looks
better.
And there was one dude who has a phone like that.
No, and this is a side note. Why not let people record you? I mean, when you're doing a concert, so many places, at least where I've been, put your phones away, and then security guard can come and give you a hard time for recording and whatever. And it's they're going to use this recording to promote you and show how awesome you are to all their friends and make you more popular. So why not let them do that, right?
I mean, yeah, but I can understand, like, it's just like, well, watch the concert, though. I can understand the other side of it. I mean, I get the exposure, like, but it's like, yeah, like people are just like with their phones, and I mean, I guess they are watching it, but they're not fully engaged.
The way I see it,
And
the quality of that recording is not going to be high enough that you really even need to worry about it. And then if you wrote the song, then you've copyrighted it through whatever distributor, and you're going to get the money from the ads anyway. So who cares?
I mean, I suppose I mean, I was just trying to like see the other side of things, play a little I guess devil's advocate. Yeah, I don't know. I like.
Yeah. For some reason, you saying it made me think of that. I don't know if either of you remember the show What's Happening with Rerun, kind of an overweight dude, and I forget. It's a show from like the late 70s, early 80s or something, and someone talks the one dude into to go into the Doobie Brothers show, but he has to have like those old cassette decks like in his trench coat. And so he sneaks in some cassette tapes to, a Doobie Brothers show, and of course as things are going, it falls, and then the band sees him. I don't know, it's a goofy old reference, but yeah, it's for me, well, one time I played a show in Birmingham, and when I started playing one song, this lady there was really into how I got the song started, and she pulled out her phone, and I always wondered what happened to that video. But as well as things, when as a performer, when something like that happens, you're thinking, yeah, this is awesome. Someone's finally, getting what I'm doing, and but it's always interesting what happens to those performances. It seems like now, I know people, and I'm always curious, like for me, myself, I guess I'm old enough where sometimes I forget to pull out my phone. It's not like a second nature, as if I was a little younger, but it seems like part of the point people are doing is just trying to capture that moment, so they can revisit it later. But then, I think of all the pictures and stuff I take of things that I never look at that are sitting in my, Google Photos somewhere going, oh, yeah, I need to organize that. And,
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course. There's definitely videos that I've lost of just like even like a minute long video of a band I went to see, just kind of like, I don't know, just to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've done it, but yeah, I guess I understand both sides of the that thing, but I guess I don't know. I mean, the phone has almost become the new lighter. Because I don't think you can bring into most venues now, you can't bring lighters, right?
I think, I don't know, with vape pens, I mean, I guess rechargeable batteries, or the whatever the juice you need is probably more looked for than a lighter. Try to think of last time I saw someone with a lighter out somewhere.
Man, vape pens are great because they're so discreet. They don't hardly smell at all. They don't make a scene. You know what I mean? Like, so like if you're at a movie theater, right, and you light up a big old joint, fucking everybody in there is gonna know in 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you like, under your jacket or your hoodie or your whatever, you're wearing your mask, and you just kind of take a, with your pen. You blow it through your jacket so nobody sees the vape.
Okay.
You can
don't
do
forget that I work in high school, and people going into stalls, 5 at a time. I mean, it's a whole different deal,
That's nasty.
It's like, hey, I smell your blueberry popcorn candy cane stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's a whole, I mean, it's joke levels. It's like, remember when people used to go to the bathroom and poop? You know?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Okay, guys, but remember, you got to be 21, and it's got to be in a legal state, because I am in a legal state. It's cool here in Oregon, and I'm twice the legal age. Okay, so I've actually legal aged above the legal age, so you can't really give me too much crap about that. Anyway,
They call you Grandpa Matt.
oh man, this is such a freaking tangent. I'll tell you what, we're really off. We're really off in left field, right field. I don't know where we end up.
The conversation is fun, though. You know.
Oh, definitely, man. You guys are so great to have on. So that's everything we plan on doing today, man. That was intense. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. You know, I always like when people. I don't want to say criticize because you get a weird mix of comments when you add reactions to your channel. But I always remind people, it's like, you know, I get to hear stuff that I normally wouldn't take the time out and, you know, listen or appreciate or really think about. And that's always fun. And then, like, you know, talk about the tangents and stuff, to sit around and get a chance to have conversations with people, you know, that's fun. You know, that's how we grow as people. That's what makes us human. You know, that's fun stuff for me, you know?
Yeah. And to have those conversations without people getting too emotional, I mean, yeah, you know, it's hard to not tap into your emotions when you, like, especially when you're passionate about something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sound has changed me so much. Like, I've opened my eyes so much more. I used to think I was open-minded, and I was maybe more open-minded than some people. But man, I'll tell you what, I have really come to see just how closed-minded I was when, you know, like, I just wasn't even like, for a while, I wasn't even like all that into looking out in the world for music, you know, because I was just, I'm just making my own. So now recently, since I've been doing the sound, I kind of a little bit more the other way. Like, I'm just so into, like, inspired by all these incredible musicians all over the world, from freaking Indonesia to Kazakhstan to freaking Jamaica to freaking everywhere we go, you know. You go to Finland and you find the freaking more metal band per capita than anywhere else in the world. I mean, it's like, you know, I had no idea. Like, Nightwish was so freaking incredible. You know, I'd never heard of them. You know, Arion, I'd never heard of them, man. They just blow my mind every time I listen to them. You know, and so it's just like, it's so cool to burst that pop culture bubble. You know, and just to listen to Josephine Alexandria, you know, right. To like all this stuff, you know, and to see all these people's covers of, you know, famous American music and see what they did with it and how, you know, they wove a little bit of their own folk music into it or their own style into it. Man, I love the sound, everybody. It's just such a cool show. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me. Thank you, Eve. Thank you, Kyle, for being my awesome guests. Everybody, make sure you mash that like button. Please go over to their channels. Evelyn Holland. Evelyn is approaching 1,000 subscribers rapidly. Oh, cool. Add your love to Evelyn.
Please.
We're trying to see if we can get her over that threshold so she can start collecting some teeny weeny little pennies here and there. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
And Kyle Walz, make sure you subscribe to him. Kyle's about almost. Did you hit 10K yet? I was watching. You were close.
I'm like 250 away, something like that.
We're doing that final push for 10K on Kyle Walz's channel. Make sure you give him that subscribe button, please. Man, this is crazy. You know, we're all just growing so much, and it's because of you guys. Thank you so much. This whole show is for you, for your comments, for your chats, for your thumbs up and everything. We really appreciate it. And, you know, in addition to super chats, super stickers, you can stick around. I'm going to go through the chat in just a few minutes. In addition to that, make sure you check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio, where you can go ahead and sign up. You can request collaborations, you can request covers, you can request, reactions, and you'll get cut the line. The more you donate, the further ahead of the line you can jump, okay? And also, please check out my website, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. where you can get music lessons from me. And I can do voice, guitar, ukulele, and saxophone. And songwriting, if you're interested in songwriting, music theory, all that kind of stuff. I can teach you about scales and chords and modes and whatever you want to learn. So, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. Anything else you guys want to say before we hit this stream into the past?
Oh, it's always fun.
Are we gonna react to Fay? I thought we were gonna react to Fay.
I switched that one because of Kyle already did a video with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was sorry. I was under the impression that we were gonna do that. Never mind then.
Do you have time to do Fay, Kyle?
Sure.
Oh, wow. Wow, we're going to do a bonus extra second, a second crowd request for everybody here. All right. Woo! I'm down. I'll do it. I'm just going to have to find it here really quickly in my history because I closed that tab. How could you close the tab? That is unacceptable. So, I'll just research here. That'll be quicker. All right. We're going to do one more here. And, okay, I honestly cannot believe that this gentleman here has so few subscribers. Fay Ehsan, 4.23K. What? This is like Elite Bata's teacher / inspiration / somebody who helped him to break out and come out with these crazy techniques he's using. 4.23K. Man, subscribe to Fay. Man, I just did. Man, subscribe to Fay, everybody. Anybody want to say anything about Fay Ehsan here?
Oh, go ahead.
At the same time. No, I mean, the last one we reacted to, what was that? I remember it being pretty good.
Bon Jovi. It's My Life.
Yeah, that's right. And I know I don't know. Yeah.
Oh no.
Harmonics and the yeah. Hello.
You were kind of for a moment.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Am I fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. The harmonics and the timbre of everything was. Yeah, it was good, and I remember saying, "Yeah, I like that version better than the original."
Definitely. I was really impressed too. I've been getting requests for Fay Ehsan for a long time, since the first time I did an Elite Bata video, and it's just been gradually rising on the list. And then the whole Bob Marley thing with my Bob Marley shirt, I decided to start off with the No Woman No Cry. So if you guys missed Elite Bata's No Woman No Cry, just a few minutes after I hit the end stream button, it's going to come back around. You guys can check it out. It'll be out tomorrow. I know this is horrible Indonesian time. I know. You can always get it when you wake up in the morning. It'll be there for you. And if any of these guys decide to be blockers, then I'll just have to chop the blocker out, because I'm not going to let the whole stream go away. Anyway, so without further ado, are you guys all ready for this?
Yeah.
Yar.
Excellent. So, without further ado, the final reaction for today is Musicians Panel reacts to Fay Ehsan, Pray for Bali official music video. Here we go. That was Zoom. That was not me, Eve. I didn't
No,
do that.
it's fine. Yeah, no, I noticed that.
What
It's not a
the
big deal.
crap, dude? But we weren't even in the like. We weren't even like. We weren't. We didn't even get a warning or nothing. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. We need to talk about that. Hopefully, Kyle will be back. But either way, we need to talk about that. That was freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I really especially loved the part where he was going and that was just so epic, man. And then doing the bass drum with the elbow like that. Oh man, that was so cool. Kyle, that was Zoom. I didn't do that, man. It just all
my
of a sudden,
internet died like right as Zoom needed to do that. So
oh,
took
okay.
me a little bit
Well,
longer.
I don't know what happened, man. It just all of a sudden the screen came up and it was like, take your meetings to the next level. And it's like, I thought you gave me however many minutes. Just cut me off in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
How much is this Zoom subscription, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I think it's like $15 a month or something. But that would be like almost 50% of my YouTube ad revenue with 21,000 subscribers. So I'm
Yeah.
not giving it to them, period. It's not happening.
Yeah.
As sad as that is. Yeah. You know, let's focus here, guys. We got to talk about Fay, man. That was freaking incredible. Like I was expecting a lot. And every 32 bars, his approach to the guitar was slightly different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Almost in the way that it was like, you know how like a techno electronic song is based on loops.
Yeah.
Every so many measures, there's a change, and it's like clockwork.
Yeah.
It's like predictable, you know. Well, for his, it was more drawn out than electronic music. It wasn't every 4 bars or every 8 bars, but it's really fast. It was like every 32 bars. So he would just keep doing this really cool thing, and then it would shift gears. And then he would do this other really cool thing, and then he would shift gears and do this other really cool thing. And it just kept building up and building up and building up and building up. And it was just intense. And then when it got to that really super fast notey part, man, my head was spinning. I was just like, wow, this is really awesome. I love the way he built it up. That guy deserves 4 million subscribers. Totally like a leap. Totally deserve. Mash that subscribe button for Fay Ehsan. Come on. Do it. Man, I no, seriously. I when I was looking at it earlier, I saw 4.33 and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's got 4.3 million like a leap." No, that's a K. That's not an M. Oh, crap. This dude is totally underrated, man. Totally. All right, go on. Who wants to talk next?
Yeah, no, there was definitely like an airiness and like kind of like I was floating in the clouds with the progression and the way he was playing it. It was kind of like, flying essentially.
Yeah. It had the classical guitar strings. The tone was very nylon. And I like how he made that little custom like table bench thing that he like had the guitar strapped to. That was really cool.
Yeah, I liked but before when I checked out the song, I didn't have headphones to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I missed a few different nuances. And I'll mention those here, like a nylon strings, you know, 3 of them are wound, you know, like usually on you know, most strings, or most string sets. But the way he would kind of rub those to create a different textural effect for transition's sake. And you mentioned like EDM type stuff to have like whooshes as transitions and little drops in rhythm. So it's not like boom, 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 you know, for hours. I always like, and it seems that, you know, Fay, Josephine, Alexandra, and Leap does a little bit, but Leap seems to have a whole different style than Fay and Josephine. But the idea of like from a music production standpoint, making something radio friendly where it changes up, you know, every 20, 30 seconds or something like that. So then as a listener listening to it, it keeps them engaged throughout the full, you know, 3-ish minutes of a song. And that was something really cool. And to notice how he used the strings in a different way, because like
The turntable
guess
sound that he did, whoosh, whoosh, that was really neat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like you mentioned that the timbre of like nylon strings. At the beginning, I liked that he had like a mute, where it was almost like he messed up, like hitting a harmonic where he didn't hit it. But that was the point, to have a break in the sound, to break it up. And those little nuances are really cool,
Yeah. That was excellent. I'm really glad that we squeezed that in. I wasn't trying to cut it really, but I never know how much time you guys have, so it was really cool that we were able to squeeze that one in too.
I did have a dentist appointment today, but something got messed up with my insurance because I'm trying to get some bridge work done, and I had to switch insurances, and then I had to switch back because they wouldn't do it at my primary clinic. It's like it's kind of a headache. So I'm not going to the dentist today. I guess I'm gonna have to just get rescheduled tomorrow.
Right on. That is what it is. But I guess we'll go ahead and tie this up then. I'm gonna do the chat, so don't anybody go anywhere. If you wanna chat with me, I'm gonna go through the chats from the beginning. Super chats first, super stickers first, and then go through and talk to y'all and give some shout outs, and we'll hang out. So make sure you go and subscribe. Subscribe to Fay, he needs it. Also subscribe to us, we need it too. Make sure you like this video, share out the stream, and check out all of our websites. Links are in the description. And I already did most of my ending before, so I'll just kind of like move it around. And so I'll see you guys all next time on the Sound Live. All right, guys. Well, why don't you just we'll go ahead and close up this room here, and I'll see you guys. Hopefully you'll be here tomorrow, Eve.
I'm actually jamming with somebody at like 10, so
cool.
probably
next week.
Possibly Thursday. I'm not sure yet because I have an appointment at 2:30 for laser hair removal.
Oh, I think Thursday I'm going to be doing collaborations with Aleep again. That's going to be lots of fun.
Okay.
Saxophone and guitar. All right, well, I'll see you guys next week then. Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Yep, bye.
Hello, guys. I'm still here. Just give me 1 second to turn my other camera on here. Hello, I'm still here. Oh, I see the problem. It's because I was using the Zoom. Okay, here it is. I'm here, and we're going to do comments. Thank you, everybody, for just giving me a second. And, before I start in the comments, both of my friends got little bathroom breaks. Man, I got to take a quickie little bathroom break. Don't anybody go anywhere, though. I'm going to go ahead and go through every single message. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I apologize for that, but unfortunately, as a human being, all that good kopi that I was drinking, my wonderful coffee, yeah, I had the Sarah thumb on that whole time. That's so funny. I forgot to switch my thumb. See, I didn't even notice. Okay, guys, chat time. Thank you so much here for being with me. Like, share, subscribe, and let's get going. So at the very beginning of the live chat, we had Manny Vimko. Hello, Manny. Manny says hello. And then one of my very awesome friends, Fami. Hello, Fami. Fami says, good day, Matthew, Kyle, and Evelyn. Fami, thank you so much for your great work wrenching for me. I really appreciate it. You make it so that I don't have to worry. I love it. You're really cool. All right. Then we have Fami says, hi, Mani Vemko. Smiley. And Mani Vemko says, hi, Fami. And for whatever reason, Chano Hyburon retracted a message. And Fami's like, Chano Hyburon. What? I don't know. Something in Indonesian, but there's coffee, and so it's probably good. And then Chano Hyburon is like, Kevin. It's cool. All right. Ali Halik, Mantap. Ali Halik. That's a funny name. I like that. I like that name. Ali Halik. Oh, and then Fabi's like, Ali Halik, Mantap. Some coffee. All right. Yeah, have just a little bit more coffee here. Just one more little sip here. Kopi Monokopi, everybody? I'm having mine. I love cold brew. Then we have Ilham Setyawan. Is that even close? 3 thumbs up. Some rock, yeah. And Fami says, at Ilham Setyawan, lots of cool emojis. Thank you. And On giving his usual applause and coffee emojis. I appreciate you, On. Thank you for being here with me. Okay. And then we have On Mantab, Mas Fami, and On again. Yeah, rock and roll. And then we have, thank you for that subscription. James McIntyre has just subscribed. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Moving on, we have Ras Muhammad official message deleted. I wonder what that was all about. But at least I don't have to worry about it because it was taken care of for me. Moving on says, wow, Ras Muhammad. Oh, maybe he said something that wasn't very nice. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. On is like salam. And Evelyn says, hello, everyone. Smiles. And On says, hello, Evelyn, Kyle, and Matthew. What's up, On? Hello. Shout out to you, On. All right. Ras Muhammad official. Smile is the universal welcome. Thank you, guys. On says, hey, Uncle Matthew, here is Ras Muhammad. Do you know who they are? They are famous, bro. I'm okay. I'm not familiar yet. If you guys want to chat about it, Ras Muhammad, that's cool. That's really cool. I'll make acquaintances, That's cool. I appreciate you being here, Ross. Definitely appreciate you being here. So, yeah. Kyle says, hey, everyone. Mandy Vandenhugen says, hey, Kyle. On says, hello, Kyle. And Magda XXX2 says, yeah, Dimash. Hey. Then James McIntyre says, yes, Unforgettable Day. Like I said, I picked this one because of our interactions in the chat last week. Last Tuesday it was. There was so many people talking to me, talking about Unforgettable Day. I loved it. I'm so glad I picked it. Thank you, guys. Keep the suggestions coming. I'm keeping track of them. I am. Good. I see more chats coming. Oh, awesome. Next, continuing on, we have Mani. Oh, I just went past it. Mani Vemko says, yay, Dimash, he is amazing. And On says, Ali Bata is amazing. Well, okay, let's just agree that they're both amazing. At least to me, they're both amazing in very different ways. I mean, Dimash is the superior singer, of course, but I mean, Alip was an incredible guitar player. Can't compare them. They're both Montop, right? Montop. We can agree on that. That means incredible, exceptional, wonderful, awesome, whatever. Okay, moving on. Magda says Dimash is the best. Fire, fire, heart, heart. And Mani Vemko, please put Dimash Vocalese on your list. It's a treat for a musician. He is improvising and playing with his voice. It will floor you. That's my kind of stuff. I'm an improviser, you know. I love to jam. That's why I'm doing the jam with the Leap on Thursday, you know. I'm gonna sit down here this afternoon and pick some more songs, you know, to play with the Leap. Because I just love to jam, and he's just such a cool person to jam with. So yes, that's on the list. Mani Vemko, you've been added to the list. So we've added Vocalese. On Alip Bata 2. All right, Mata Gabadava. Maya Gabadava says Dimash Heart. And Mani Vemko says Vocalese live performance. Also, other musicians in that performance are amazing. On says Alip. And then Marcela Mercado says Hola. This looks like Spanish. I don't know Spanish, but thank you for chatting. Marcela Mercado again says she likes Dimash, I think. I like him too. Mani Vamko says whenever you hear Dimash song, you think, that is his music style. And the more you hear, the more you realize you haven't heard anything. Each song is a different performer and different voice. That's the goal of the singer, in short, is to sing each and every song completely for that song in a unique way. You know, in order to get that song emotion, that song's message across. And, you know, the human voice is such an incredible instrument. We can do so much with it. And I'm going to keep listening to Dimash because I especially love the way that he takes those high, breathy, heady tones and just gives them so much amazing clarity and power and just control. You know? My God, what control that man has. I am floored already. So if I get floored even more, then that's cool. I'm down. So I agree, Monty. As a voice teacher, that's what I teach. Sing for the song. Yes, agree. Okay, and Julie says he does the song different every time. And Monty says he does every song different each time. There we go. And Julie says Mani Vamko, true. Well, except maybe Olympico. Okay. Then Magda XXX2 says, yeah, D8. All right. Magda's given the triple collapse. And then Marcela Mercado says some more stuff in Spanish about Kiev. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Apologize. And then on is headphones, a cigarette, and coffee. Yep, that's what you need, right? Sit down and enjoy. Marcela Mercado. Oh, no Vocalese. Okay, so Vocalese, that's another request. Okay, now, I think this was in response to Eve comment about the D8. Mani says that D8 had vibrato and body. I agree. I was just, like I said, I was a little bit surprised as to how, why, and when it happened. But, you know, it was pretty incredible. I've never heard anything like that before. And I didn't want to say this to Kyle and Eve because I didn't know if Eve was going to come tomorrow. But I guess Eve's busy tomorrow. But I'm going to pick this again for tomorrow to show Sarah that. This is a secret between me and you guys. That was my pick. I'm going to pick it again. I did that for Dimash before, so that just shows you how much I like this guy. Like, I want Sarah to hear that. I want Sarah Olsen to hear that. I just cannot imagine the reaction that she's going to give you all. And so, it won't be my first reaction to it because I did that today. But that's okay, man. Sarah's worth it. Her reaction is worth it. So, yeah. Okay, moving on. So Julie H says short. Nah, man, that was long with vibrato. I agree. I never said any of that. James McIntyre says he wrote that song, Matt, when he was 17. I wrote songs when I was 17 too. And I did. I finished them, and they were nowhere near as freaking good as that. They were not remotely like that. His songs, as good as stuff that I've written as an adult. Better than stuff I was written as an adult. Better, and he's 17. Like, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I love his expressiveness, the vulnerability that he shows. Even though I'm not understanding the lyrics, I fully feel the emotions, and it's incredible. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Julie H says, yeah, but folk music in America is mountain music. Much ignored. Yeah, I like mountain music. It's cool. And jamming, is a really cool thing. Jamming with all kinds of people. So, definitely. Then James says, Gakku is a TV channel in Kazakhstan. This was a music festival they sponsored. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I didn't know that. Julie H says folk music around the world is often ignored, actually, but someone like Dimash has pushed his folk music to the forefront. Well, that's because folk music is the music of the commoners, right? At least it was in the past, right? And the wealthy people, right? They had their own music, right? They didn't listen to that commoner music. Same as, like food. Like I was watching this one TV show, and they were talking about these rich people that would only eat truffles after they had been processed by a fox. Yeah. So just because it's something the rich people did, that doesn't mean it's better, right? End of story. Okay, so I'm all about bringing folk music out into the world, and that's one of the things I said about Arion, about Nightwish. I love how they would combine some of those folk music elements that they grew up with the different prog rock, prog metal, symphonic metal genres that they were doing. It was so epic. I love bringing those folky themes. That's why, I say I love Troy. He's a great musician in Nightwish. I love the way that he adds the flutes and, the bellows and the bouzouki or whatever, the crazy 8-string thing he plays. He has all these, really interesting instruments into the mix. I love it. Folk music is highly underrated, and I'm into it. My wife loves bardcore, which bardcore, like, I don't know, we're talking about the ones that we like are the ones that were made with no MIDI, especially, right? The ones where it's made, if possible, with all authentic instruments, and with like a really authentic medievally sounding tone. That's really cool, and that's a lot of folk influence there. So definitely I'm into that. And so, anytime artists take folk music and, they bring it out into the world, I think it's a beautiful thing, especially when they do it in a way that, it's then reachable to the masses. Excellent. Dimash is awesome. Okay. Juliana K says, next Vocalese Kiev concert. Got it. Marcela Mercado. Hola, Juliana. Marcela Mercado says, more cool stuff in Spanish. Kyle Wall says, as folk music is like European folk music from 200 years ago. U.S. folk music. Some of it, and some of it is also, like she was saying, Appalachian mountain music. There's all kinds of different traditions of music, and there's been musicians, as long as there's been people that, made, like, sounds. Like, voice is the first instrument before anything. I would argue the people were, in a sense, singing before they were even talking. But that's a discussion for another time. Moving on. Marcela Mercado says more stuff about New York in Spanish. And then James McIntyre says that Dimash, I assume, is moving to the United States this fall to work with Walter Afanasieff. Tried. Magda says Kazakh song. Okay, yeah, so I was wrong about that. I thought it was French, but it wasn't. It was in Kazakh. I'd never heard Kazakh before, so maybe, to me in that moment it sounded like French. Okay. He's still, to have written Any song that sounds that good at 17 is just a massively incredible feat. Okay, moving on. So James McIntyre says, I have to master the IPA. I'm going to be honest here, guys. I like the dark beers. I don't really like ones with a high IBU, lots of hoppy flavor. I like some. The range that I like is, I would say 5 to 40 IBU. Anything that's much above 40 IBU, if you start to get like 60 IBU, like an IPA, that's too hoppy for me. But I do like good hops. So we get something in the 30s, I'm really into that. Good stuff. So yeah, that's what I'd say about IPAs. James McIntyre says, you pay $200 to watch an artist through a phone? Well, I don't know about paying $200. I'm saying if you pay to get into the concert and then you shoot a little video as a memory, I mean, I was saying, who cares? Like, as an artist, I wouldn't care. People video me, I'm like flattered. I'm like, whoa, dude, send me a link to that, man. But I'm not huge, like, major artist. I'm just a little guy, making my way in Oregon. Okay, moving on. On gives this 6 claps and a whole mess of other emojis. On really liked this. Okay, moving on. Fay Ehsan, and On likes that too. Fay Ehsan. Yes. And On gives lots of emojis to Fay Ehsan. Headphones, guitar, music notes. Man, he's picked all kinds of them. I think that's even gold. Or no, it's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. Oh man, it's making me hungry. I haven't had breakfast or lunch yet. It's like 1:15. I need to eat soon. Okay, well, moving on. On says, wow, and he gives 6 claps. He says, there's another good fingerstyle from Indonesia besides Elite Bata and Fay Ehsan. You know who? His name is Ade Sulistio. Ade Sulistio. I don't know, I'm trying. Alex Atmasha gives coffee and music notes. Elena retracted a message. Elena Samurhashu. Okay, that's fine. And then Elena says, you should check out Ogni Pietra Olimpico from Dimash. It's absolutely epic. Greetings from a Dimash fan from Finland. Greetings from Portland, America. Thank you, guys. That's all the chats I've got so far. If you shoot me another one here real quick while I'm tying the stream up for good, then, I'll respond to it. But otherwise, man, this has been a great stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Like this video so lots of people can see it. Please share out this stream. As soon as I hit end stream, you'll be able to watch from the beginning. So if you didn't get to see Elite Bata doing No Woman, No Cry, some Bob Marley cover, make sure you check that out. It's incredible. We also have Nightwish in the stream. We also have... oh man, just so much amazing good stuff in this stream. I don't even remember. My brain is so fried by all the incredible music. It was really awesome. Dimash was my pick. I loved it so much. And if you come with me tomorrow, be here. I'm going to show that to Sarah Olson. Making sure... hoping that she's here, of course. And On says, good job, Uncle. Kopi mana kopi. Here's my cold brew. I'm going to save the rest of this for tomorrow. I appreciate you guys being here with me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Celia says, I'm here for Dimash, so be back tomorrow. I'll be back live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, whatever time that is for you. I'm in Oregon, USA. Check out my website, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com, where you can get music lessons from me. And you can also check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. That's where you can sign up to support the channel. I really could use your help. It's awesome doing this show for you twice a week. On Thursday, I'll be here at 10 a.m. Pacific time doing live saxophone collaborations with Alip Bata. Ooh. And On says, I'm here for you. Aw, thank you, On. I really appreciate that. And one more. Magda says, check out Olimpico from the New York concert. Noted. And I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for being here with me on The Sound Live. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are ultimately awesome. Ultimately awesome. The most ultimately awesome that ever awesome. Yes. As awesome as a possum. And the blossom even.